There are two commands that allow us to refine our site design. In this case, they're called Subregion and Split Surface, and they can both be found underneath the Massing and Site tab. The first one I want to talk about is Split Surface. And if we select on Split Surface, what this does is it splits up whatever the topo surface is into multiple different topo surfaces. So if we use this command, we could split this straight down and have one topo surface and then a second topo surface over on the other side. But another feature, in fact, the reason why I use this probably the most often, is to cut this down so that we have a nice square lot that we'll be sitting our building on. So to do this, begin by making sure that split surface is highlighted, come down here, and then when we see the blue line going around our topo surface, we need to select on it. Now the next thing I'd like to do is use the rectangle command. Come down here, click once in the upper left-hand corner, making sure you're still inside of this topo surface, doing the same idea down here. So come down, and then while you're still inside the topo surface, but you have a rectangular shape showing up, click to place it like that. And when you do, you'll click the big green check mark, and now you'll see that just the interior part is highlighting. This is the one that's currently selected, and it's your interior topo surface. So we have one that's on the outside and one that's on the inside. To get rid of one of these, in this case I want to get rid of the outside one, you can just select on it, hit the delete key on the keyboard, and now we have a nice rectangular site that we can begin to place our building on and concentrate our grading efforts on. So splitting the surface is good for breaking up the surface into multiple components, as well as cleaning up your individual surface that you're trying to work with. Now, the other thing, though, that you can do is called a subregion. And if you use the subregion command, in this case, what I'd like to do is start to draw in right along the surface here a shape. In fact, I think the shape that I'm going to do is going to look more like a parking lot. So I'm going to use my line command. I'm going to click out here at the edge, begin to draw a line straight up, come over a bit, down, a considerable angle to it, click, and now come down again. And the important thing is this does need to be one continuous line as you follow it around. And now this is a new parking lot area. Ultimately, we would place our building right over here, so we have the parking lot in front of the building. Now for here, we can click on the big green check mark, and now we can see that this is highlighted very much like the command that we saw before, which was the split surface command. The difference is between these two, even though they're highlighting individually, they're still part of the same surface. What this means is that you can now select on one of these surfaces. In this case, I'm going to select on the one that I split, go into its properties, and now we can adjust its properties such as its material properties. So I'm going to click where it has the word materials underneath properties, and then pick where it has by category and activate this menu. I need to pick other material here that we can see that's going to represent our parking lot. Cast in place concrete will work. So I'll click on OK to that. It's going to say it doesn't support that surface pattern, but I don't worry about that. We'll just click on OK. And now you can see that I have this concrete pattern, and we could do this again and again by continuing to do subregions throughout the site and then giving new materials to each of those. As a result of that, they'll render appropriately, they'll start to look nice, and by using the subregions, you can create sidewalks, planting areas, and a wide variety of other things throughout your site. So, split surface allows you to split the site up in more than one component, while subregion allows you to keep that site as all one piece, but then assign materials and generally manipulate those shapes to create different kinds of site conditions.